Phil Knight is proof that if you have a dream, and you work hard enough, anything is possible. Mark Cuban, owner of Dallas Mavericks. Welcome to this video on the life of Phil Knight, the co-founder and former CEO of Nike Incorporated. Phil Knight is a legendary figure in the business world, known for his relentless drive, entrepreneurial spirit, and determination to succeed. He built Nike from scratch, into one of the largest athletic wear companies in the globe, transforming the way people think about sports, and fashion in the process. In this video, we'll be exploring some of the most epic moments of Phil Knight's life, from his early days as a runner, to the founding of Nike and beyond. We'll take a deep dive into his leadership style, his business philosophy, and his unyielding commitment to innovation and excellence. So sit back, relax, and join us as we journey through the life of one of the most iconic figures in modern business history. Phil Knight was born in Portland, Oregon in 1938. His father was a newspaper publisher, and from a young age, he was interested in business and entrepreneurship. After high school, he attended the University of Oregon, where he earned a degree in journalism and later a degree in business from Stanford University. Phil Knight is a visionary, who saw the potential of an idea, and turned it into a global phenomenon. Howard Schultz, former CEO of Starbucks. The idea of importing shoes came from Phil Knight's travels abroad. In the early 1960s, Knight was a young accountant, who had recently graduated from Stanford University. He had a passion for running, and while traveling in Japan, he discovered a type of running shoe, made by the Japanese company Onitsuka, that he believed was far superior to anything available in the United States at the time. Knight saw an opportunity to import these shoes and sell them to American runners, who he believed would appreciate their quality and performance. He convinced Onitsuka to allow him to become their exclusive distributor in the United States. When asked about his brand name, he improvised and gave the name Blue Ribbon, and in 1964 he launched a company called Blue Ribbon Sports to do just that. The decision to import shoes was a bold one, as it required Knight to take a major financial risk and navigate complex international business relationships. However, his passion for running and belief in the quality of Onitsuka's shoes gave him the confidence to take the leap. Phil Knight assembled a remarkable team to build Nike into a global powerhouse, and the story of how he did so is both fascinating and inspiring. One of the first people to join Knight was his former track coach at the University of Oregon, Bill Bowerman. Bowerman was a legendary figure in the world of running, having coached numerous Olympic medalists and set several world records. He also had a reputation as a bit of a mad scientist when it came to designing shoes, and he was constantly experimenting with new materials and designs. Another key early hire for Knight was Jeff Johnson, a college friend who shared his passion for running and entrepreneurship. Johnson became the company's first full-time employee and took charge of advertising and promotion. Over the next few years, Knight continued to add talented individuals to his team. One of the most notable was Rob Strasser, a young executive from the advertising agency McCann Erickson. Strasser had a reputation as a marketing genius, and he was instrumental in helping Nike establish its iconic swoosh logo and distinctive brand identity. Phil Knight's vision for Blue Ribbon Sports was to import high-quality, low-cost running shoes from Japan to the United States, and establish a brand synonymous with sports and athletic performance. Phil relied on this vision to motivate the team, and involved everyone in major decision-making processes to maximize their output. He followed the philosophy of General Patton, which is to give people the end goal and allow them to achieve it in their own way. An example of this is Jeff Johnson, the first employee on Phil's team, who worked with Bill Bowerman to design new shoes. Phil did not micromanage Jeff, but rather included him in decision-making processes for designing new shoe designs. He also brought on a number of talented designers and engineers, including Tinker Hatfield, who would later create some of Nike's most iconic shoe designs, such as the Air Jordan series. One interesting anecdote from this period involves a young graphic designer named Carolyn Davidson, who Knight hired in 1971 to design a logo for Nike. Davidson came up with the now famous swoosh design, which Knight initially didn't love, but ultimately decided to use anyway. He paid Davidson just $35 for her work, but later gave her a substantial amount of Nike stock, as a token of his appreciation. By the mid-1970s, Nike had become one of the hottest brands in the athletic wear industry, thanks in large part to the talented team that Phil Knight had assembled. His ability to attract and retain top talent was a key factor in Nike's success, and his story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of building a strong and dedicated team. Phil Knight faced numerous challenges in taking Nike to the top of the athletic wear industry. Initially, he sold track shoes out of the trunk of his car. Frequent lawsuits, insincere distributing partner, and a $500 investment was the starting struggle. 1. Frequent lawsuits. Nike has been involved in various lawsuits, including breach of contract, trademark infringement, false advertising, and trademark disputes. These include the lawsuit by Onitsuka, the first distributing partner of Nike, and by the University of Oregon on trademark infringement, Knight's alma mater, where he jump-started his career. These lawsuits demonstrate the challenges that Nike faced as it sought to establish itself as a major player in the athletic footwear industry. While some cases were settled out of court, others went all the way to the Supreme Court, highlighting the importance of trademark and advertising law in the business world. 2. Competition from Adidas and other established brands. Throughout the 1970s, Nike faced stiff competition from established athletic wear brands like Adidas, Puma, and Reebok. In 1979, Nike's sales were still below $200 million, while Adidas had sales of over $500 million. 3. Manufacturing and supply chain issues. In the 1980s, Nike faced significant challenges with its manufacturing and supply chain operations. The company relied heavily on factories in Asia to produce its shoes, but labor disputes and quality control issues were common. 4. Controversies over labor practices. In the 1990s and 2000s, Nike faced criticism and boycotts over its labor practices, particularly in factories in Asia, where workers were paid low wages and subjected to poor working conditions. In response, Nike launched a series of initiatives to improve labor standards and working conditions in its factories. 5. Increasing competition from new brands. In recent years, Nike has faced growing competition from upstart athletic wear brands like Under Armour and Lululemon, which have carved out niches in the market with innovative designs and marketing strategies. Despite these challenges, Phil Knight and his team were able to navigate them successfully and build Nike into one of the most successful and iconic brands in the world. Today, Knight presides over the most visible athletic apparel company in the world, with over $40 billion annual revenues. However, that was not always his goal. He wanted to become a big league baseball player. But that dream, as per Phil Knight, came to a rude awakening when he got cut from his high school baseball team. He always had an interest in sports, and from a young age had joined the track team. Also, while working on a college assignment, Knight came up with a blueprint for a business dealing in sports shoes. He found the opportunity to materialize his ideas in Japan, acted on it, and rest is history. Knight stepped down as CEO of Nike in 2004, but remained chairman of the company until 2016. He has since retired from Nike, and is now focused on philanthropic work. He is a generous donor to various charitable organizations, including the Oregon Health and Science University, where he has funded a number of cancer research projects. Knight wrote a memoir about his journey with Nike, called Shoe Dog. The book was published in 2016 and became a bestseller. It provides an inside look at the challenges Phil faced and how he overcame them. It is a must-read for anyone who wants to know the story of Nike and the man behind its success. In conclusion, Phil Knight's life is a testament to the power of determination and hard work. He has inspired millions of people with his story, and his legacy will continue to inspire future generations. Knight believed shoes were the only equipment that mattered in running, and Coach Bowerman was obsessed with creating fine track shoes. While others may have found the idea crazy, Knight had one motto: just keep going. Today Nike is the world's best sports and fitness company. So, if you are an aspiring entrepreneur, take a page out of Phil Knight's book, and remember that anything is possible with hard work, perseverance, and a willingness to take risks. The cowards never started, and the weak died along the way. That leaves us, ladies and gentlemen. Us. Phil Knight.